Tubers High Score Challenge on this Easter Bank Holiday Sunday. Game this time is Mirax, one I've not heard of before, but the type of kind of like flying forward and shooting everything seems familiar. I'm sure I've played various games similar to this. Anyway, the idea is you've got your ship, you dodge the fireballs. It's a bit sort of Space Harrier-like in the sense. You shoot things to get your points. Interesting bonus system. Shoot a group of land targets and you get those triangles which pop up. Shoot 3 of those to get 300, 600 and 3,000 points. If you do hit all 3 of them, then a spaceship comes down. If you shoot the spaceship, you get an extra 2,000 bonus points, plus you get auto fire as well. So it's very handy to maximise those bonuses as much as possible, because there's a lot of points to be made there. Onto the game itself. It's really fun to play. Within the first couple of goes, I was really enjoying this. There is something a little bit loose in terms of the way the ship controls and the way some of the shots land, or rather don't land. Sometimes you hit the fire button and you swear like it hit a spaceship or whatever, but it doesn't always seem to connect. But you know, it's all reliable enough, and it doesn't really sort of detract from the fun of the game. The general plot is as well. There's 10 stages where you're sort of flying towards this sort of flying weapon city thing called Mirax, and each stage is apparently sort of 10,000 miles or so, and so you fly closer and closer to this mysterious boss thingy. So that's the general plot. I wouldn't read too much into it, but interesting nonetheless. Nice sort of futuristic sci-fi type theme to it all. Other bonuses as well as the sort of land targets and the triangles and spaceships I was talking about earlier. You get the trains which kind of run along in the background, shoot all the compartments of those, and you get another spaceship which comes down from the top. And something which I haven't mentioned, which I only found out earlier today actually, or only realised earlier today. Each time you shoot one of the sort of big bonus spaceship thingies which come down, you get a flag, and those flags build up on the bottom of the screen there in the middle. And if you get 5 of those, then it gives you an extra life, which is fantastic. You also get extra lives for getting a certain amount of points. I think it's like 30,000, I can't remember the rest of them, but yeah, fairly regular intervals. So you can really boost your lives by doing a combination of point scoring and sort of shooting those spaceships for the flags, which turns into more lives. So when I was playing this, it's kind of like sort of after a few goes you sort of start to get an idea as to how well you should be doing. My target was, I should say, that I wanted to beat the 10th stage, beat Mirax, and my general target was to get or have at least sort of 5 lives by the end of stage 5. So essentially sort of having 5 lives going into the last half of the game. So not losing a life up until this point, it was pretty much a must. You can get away with 1 or 2 sort of careless ones, but my par score was to pretty much like only lose a life or 2 the very most on the first 5 stages. And of course rack up as many points as humanly possible as well. So I think that's about as much as I can say just in terms of how the game plays, and sort of like how I was approaching it as well. To be honest, I've spent a lot of today playing it, because okay, like a bit of a spoiler here, but I just knew I could sort of like get that 10th stage done. and there was no way I was going to just leave it unfinished, even if it has sort of took up most of my day, to be honest. So, but yeah, I'm lucky I've had a bit of free time today, so it's something I've been able to focus on. And yeah, my wrists and fingers are killing me a bit, so having a well-deserved rest now. Talking of which, I have had a dodgy thumb recently as well. It's been mainly due to D-pad, too much D-pad stuff. Playing Rocket League, I think, and I think what tipped it over the edge as well was the Flying Shark challenge a few challenges ago. I used the controller and the D-pad on that particular game. It just found it just slightly more responsive for changing directions. But yeah, my thumb took a lot of punishment in that, and to be honest, it's not been the same since. It is recovering okay. Fingers crossed, no lasting damage, but it has made me think. In terms of looking after ourselves and sort of making sure that we're in good shape to play the games we all love and enjoy. Which leads me on to just another point, actually, because it's kind of like a repetitive strain injury type thingy, and I know there's been a lot of talk about the use of auto firing in games, and there was one comment on one of the other streams, or also one of the challenges, which mentioned that auto fire is automatically sort of deemed to be, no pun intended there, but automatically deemed to be okay because it's something which takes the stress off the joints, and it just reduces that risk of any kind of RSI. And I mean, hammering the fire button is part of the fun of a game. It's part of the challenge in a way, but I mean, having this injury is something which I did appreciate when I read the comment, but I think as well, particularly after having my thumb was pretty knackered the other week, and yeah, for a little while I was thinking, shit, what happens if I can't play computer games ever again? I was like, oh no. I was looking into what games can I play without using my thumb, and your options get pretty limited pretty quickly. I mean, I could use the arcade stick alright, but even that was of course a bit of stress and pain. So it's kind of I mean, I suppose it just hammered at home really, just in terms of the need to look after yourself, and I think for the sake of long-term health, like a bit of auto fire every now and then it isn't of course the world to blow up or anything like that. So the moral of the story is, I don't mind auto fire. It's quite hard if people want to use that. That's fine by me. Anyway, back to the game. Where are we? I've sort of talked through some of the bits. You get these kind of you've got to navigate your way through these sort of obstacles, you've got to weave your way through. What's really tricky at first with that is the trick is sort of trying to stay central. The temptation is to sort of scroll to the side, sort of try and get a larger gap. But it kind of scrolls a bit funny, and it kind of sort of drags everything along as well. So it sort of just makes it sort of quite difficult to predict in terms of where your ship's going to land, as well end up. So sort of try not to scroll around too much with those obstacles which are coming in. The levels as well, they do follow a similar kind of format, and just at the end of each level you get these kind of spinny spiky things, and just got to sort of make sure you sort of take those out and not get hit by them. Generally not too bad, but there are a couple of tricky bits where they can catch you out, and you do have to remember a couple of formations just to sort of stop that from happening. But anyway, into stage 7. And generally speaking as well, yeah, there's usually like a quick group of land targets you can take out at the start of the level just to get that bonus rolling and get that auto fire from the spaceship. You do need to be quick and it does take practice, but there's normally at least one opportunity just at the start of the level. After that, depending on the level, sometimes it can get a bit hectic, so it's sometimes wise to not think about them too much and just focus on staying alive really. It's very tempting just to get sort of drawn into sort of shooting for bonuses and getting wiped out by fireball, a bit like I did there. I had one eye on the spaceship coming down, wanted some bonus points, but the fireball hit me square in the face, so not good. But nonetheless, at this stage I've got 5 lives or so things are looking still sort of pretty good. But yeah, sort of like pressure on not to let the lives tumble. Just sort of keep steady and keep working our way through those levels here. Alright, just have a quick sip of tea. Pretty cool thing as well, you know, when you shoot those dragony thingies, like head drops off, and it's a bit weird, like you do need to kind of like shoot it, you can't just like dodge out the way of it or anything, because otherwise it does crash into you. That only happened to me once where I started targeting a bonus spaceship. Fortunately, when I've been shooting the head, it's never sort of like caught me out, so yeah, one to watch out for nonetheless. Yeah. Stage 8, 20,000 miles to Mirax City. Yeah, quick group of land targets, a bit of bonus. The spaceship, and away we go. Yeah, did really enjoy this game. Like, it's the point scoring is great. Just like with bonuses, it's always tempting to sort of try and be that a little bit more risky just to sort of get those extra points. Also like the difficulty is just right as well. You can't take your eye off the ball. You've always got to sort of keep your wits about you. But it's a good challenge all the way through as well. Got hit by a cheeky shot there, but never mind. Wasn't too harsh on myself on that one. I've lost plenty worse lives, as shall we say. With the ships as well, like that's another kind of like enemy, like ships which come inside. It's sort of like you almost want to sort of target it, do like a wall or sort of like a line just in front of them, just like wipe them out as they fly into it. And I didn't mention as well, but there's been a few of them so far. But those bouncing balls, they are tricky. There is a certain way to dodge them. It kind of comes apart naturally, but once you play it a few times, you sort of learn. So it's like a bit of a pattern where you sort of want to be one side or the other, or also like sort of just to dodge sort of straight to the other side as soon as you do like the second sort of bouncing ones and things like that. So a bit of like a bit of trial and error in a sense, yeah, just like memorising how to get out of the sort of more tricky situations. Because at first as well, like sometimes you get certain bits in your lives just start tumbling, but with a bit of practice, like you get through some difficult bits, and it's like yes, like you handle the difficult bits, and now you can handle like the rest of the level as long as you just like stay alert. So there we are. So dodging that side, and got caught up by a fireball anyway. There. So switch to one side, switch to the other side, back, and a bit of luck there and there, but hey, I'm not complaining. Got the train, which is a nice bonus, and the spaceship as well, so all good there. Yeah, sometimes just let those things fly away instead of shooting them. It's easy way to get yourself killed. Like there. Should have just hit his right in the corner on that bit, but there you go. That's the way to do it. That's nice. Okay, stage 9 done. On to Mirax City. Ooh. Yeah, when I was first playing this, I wasn't quite sure what I was supposed to be doing. And in fact, even on this run, I wasn't entirely sure what I should be doing. I'd seen a quick video of it, and someone composed it, and it's like, oh, do I just need to sort of fly forward for a bit and it blows up, or do I just land some shots on it generally? But if you look carefully, there's these those moving turret things on it, which open up occasionally to unleash a fireball, and yeah, the trick is to shoot them, of course. But yeah, that's something I didn't actually realise until about that last live. And knowing that sort of makes it a lot easier, because now you know if you've got enough lives, you can sort of chip away at them. So it's pretty tricky to dodge all that crap flying forward. And there's a lot of fireballs there as well. But there we go. In your face, Mirax. Have it. Okay, and it kind of loops, and this is Mirax's Ruthin city, but essentially it's back to the level 1 design, although the enemies are a bit different in terms of, I think there seems to be more targets there, and there's a lot more fireballs, which can be very quickly as well. So it's kind of like it's like ramped up the difficulty nicely there. But it's like all quite manageable at this stage, really. A few close shaves. Yeah, get the spaceships there, which you don't usually get on the first level. I wanted to get over 300,000 as well. That's like my beating Mirax was the main target. But now I see it's kind of like just try and get an extra few thousand points. Would have been slightly gutted if I would have that. Forward shot 300,000, but there we go. 300,000 in the bank. And yes, the draggy thingy. On level 1 as well, like it stays on the screen for not long at all. I did manage to take it out 1 or 2 times, but normally it's so quick and difficult to take out. Boom, yep, so got that. And yeah, that was a bit of a sucker punch, just like, would have needed to known that was coming to dodge at. And I dare say some of the levels on that loop have similar hazards, and yeah, my wrist's hurting, I'm hungry, I've got to post the video, and there's other games I want to be playing on my Easter Sunday as well. But that's my score, 300,000, 305,980 points. So that was Mirax. We'll just let the screen resume. There's the plot right there, and I think I just let the scary Mirax city weapon thing appear. 1985 as well. Very, very impressive. Okay, and that's my run. Bye for now.